Measles. Why measles is a serious problem? Measles affects virtually everyone in infancy, childhood, in developing countries where environmental conditions are poor. For most children who get measles, the illness is not serious. Most of them, 8% of people with measles get diarrhea. 5 to 15 get middle ear infection, mainly young children. 20 to 80 get pneumonia. About 1 in 30,000 people with measles get encephalitis, serious brain infection. Measles can turn a healthy child to malnourished. Measles in pregnancy, early labor, miscarriage, and low birth weight. Measles in people with AIDS or weak immune system can be very severe. Measles. When measles introduced to a virgin community, more than 90% infected. Epidemic of measles when susceptible children, more than 40%. Secondary attack rate is 80%. Measles caused by RNA virus, paramyxovirus. Only one antigenic type. Reservoir source is human. Just human. Transmission respiratory route. Temporal pattern peak in late winter and spring. Communicability 4 days before and 4 days after rash onset. The incubation period is 10 to 12 days, 7 to 18 days range. So, measles, if the community not infected, virgin يعني ما مر بفيروسات فيروس الميزلز، إذا فوتنا أي كيس راح نحصل أكثر من 90% من البوبوليشن will be infected. The epidemic of measles يمتى يصير when susceptible children more than 40%. إذا أكثر من 40% من الأطفال يعني معرضين للإصابة راح يصير epidemic. The secondary attack rate is 80%. The causative agent is RNA virus, paramyxovirus, one antigenic type. Reservoir and resource is human. Reservoir and source is human, just. Transmission, respiratory route. Temporal pattern, it is more in late winter and spring. Communicability, 4 days before, 4 days after the rash appearance. The incubation period is about 10 to 12 days, 7 to 18. Clinical features. Prodromal stage, eruptive stage, post-measles stage. Prodromal stage, eruptive stage, post-measles stage. 3 stages. Complication. Diarrhea, pneumonia, otitis media, convulsion, subacute sclerosing panencephalitis, complications, other complications, corneal scarring causing blindness, vitamin A deficiency common. Encephalitis, older children, adult, about 1.1 of cases, chronic disability, pneumonia, and diarrhea. Diarrhea common in developing countries. Pneumonia, it's about 5 to 10% of cases, usually bacterial desquamation. Can measles be eliminated or eradicated? Yes. Highly effective measles vaccine, strong vaccination program that achieves high vaccine coverage in children, strong public health system for detecting and responding to measles cases and outbreaks. Measles affects only human and only one serotype of measles virus. That is the هذه مواصفات الحصبة اللي ممكن تخلينا نسوي eradication or elimination. شنو عندنا لقاح زين، highly effective measles vaccine, vaccination program، عندنا برنامج تلقيحي قوي اللي يحصل إلى high coverage strong public health system، نظام صحة عامة قوي اللي هو يشخص ويلتقط الكيسات ويعني يقوم بالإجراءات لtreatment of cases and outbreaks. Measles affects only man، فماكو يعني أكثر other source other than man. Only one serotype of measles virus, so the vaccine is very effective. What do you do if somebody exposed to measles? Notification of the exposure should be communicated to a doctor. روح قل للطبيب، قل له أنا تعرضت إلى مريض مصاب بالحصبة. If the person has not been vaccinated، إذا ما ملقح أنت شخصيا اللي متعرض، measles vaccine may prevent disease if given within 72 hours of exposure. إذا خلال 3 أيام من الإكسبوجر نعطي الفاكسين يمكن يمنعها. نعطي immunoglobulin, a blood product containing antibodies to the measles virus, may prevent or lessen the severity of measles if given within 3 to 4 days of exposure. يقلل severity أو ربما يمنع الفيروس الإصابة. نعطي immunoglobulin، هذا passive immunization، while the active immunization if it is in 3 days duration may prevent the disease. What is the role of vitamin A in measles? People with low level of vitamin are more likely vitamin A to have a more severe case of measles. Low level of vitamin A more likely to have more severe case of measles. Vitamin A mega doses on each day for 2 days lessens severity of measles. So if we got a child with measles, give him two mega doses on each day for 2 days. يقلل severity. 2 doses of vitamin A not too expensive, not likely to produce adverse effect.